There's a blade on
There's a blade on my prop.
So today we're talking about installing the flares. And in order to install the flares, we have to
use big tools, power tools, like this one.
cut the holes. So we just wanted to share how we did that and how we survived the nerve-wracking task of actually cutting a hole in a van.
In a brand new van that looked perfectly fine.
I think our dog is throwing up.
I think she might be.
We'll be back. In order to put a queen-size bed sideways in the van, we had to widen the van. We did that by purchasing two flares from Flarespace. They came with the glue that was necessary. And after many dry fits, we sketched out where we needed to make the cuts. So we taped everything off, marked it out, and then decided how we were going to cut. So the question that I had to answer was what tool to use to cut the 5 holes that I was going to put in the van. I did a lot of research, went on YouTube, and I saw a lot of people recommending using a skill saw. Put a metal blade on it and just go to town. That really scared me. So I kept looking. Some people said use a multi-tool. Put a metal blade on and go around. You can get into little tight corners. This seemed like it was gonna not leave a good cut. So I kept looking. Some people even said use a Sawzall. That really scared me. So I saw 2 other options. One was this air compressor tool. Hook it up to your air compressor and this thing vibrates and cuts holes. And this turned out to be useful for really tight corners. But my go-to tool for cutting was the Jigsaw. The Jigsaw worked beautifully as long as you picked the right blade. And the blade that I chose were these high-speed steel blades. And I went ahead and got the name brand. Also, they come in 2 different lengths. They probably come in longer lengths, but get the long ones because when you're going around some corners, especially if you're cutting on the inside of the van, there are some ridges, so you won't be able to get into those little corners. And with the longer blade, it just keeps cutting and makes a nice smooth cut. So that's my recommendation. Jigsaw. Once we taped everything off and put up plastic to capture all of the little shavings, we went ahead and did the cut. And we were really happy with the way it turned out. Once you clean up the edges, then you can go ahead and glue the flare onto the vehicle. Next, install the window, but don't tighten the screws down because you'll need to remove the window in order to do the upholstery work. When we purchased the flares, we also purchased the internal trim rings, and these need to be cut to the internal contours of your specific van. Lightly pack insulation into all the nooks and crannies. Then get a 1/4 inch piece of Baltic birch, attach it to the wall with a hole in it. Use that hole to trace the outline of the trim ring. Then go ahead and cut that to size. Then attach it to the trim ring and the wall. Next, repeat the entire process on the other side of the van. Now remove the trim ring assembly, install your reflectance and your insulation, and upholster the trim ring and the Baltic birch. Note that I'm using stainless steel screws to attach everything together, and the stainless steel screws go into riv nuts in the wall. Your hard work allows you to have a queen-size bed with 2 windows allowing cross ventilation. So, was the dog throwing up?
No, she wasn't.
No throw up. She just was making that gagging sound.
That she was.
I hope this video was somewhat useful. And if you have other things that you want to see about our van, let me know, because I'll film whatever you want to see.
There's a lot to see, and
So,
it's pretty cool.
bye.
Bye.